Tony Tokumbo Fernandez. You know we get him out.
Once again, Sunday 27th of April, Africa4U, in conjunction with Zimlink, conducting video interviews with people around the globe. And we've had such a fantastic day at the Small World Community Concert right here in White Lion, Streatham. And today joined by another community ambassador, making a big difference to people's lives. She's also the founder of Glowing Futures. So it's a pleasure to meet Madam Mary Ajoke, and it's so nice because I'm meeting you for the very first time and I've heard so much about your work. Welcome to Africa4U.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure our listeners around the world are very keen to know a bit about yourself, your background, and your story.
Thank you. I'm originally from Nigeria. I was born and bred in Nigeria. I came here in my late 20s. And presently I work as a specialist practitioner, and of course I do the work with Glowing Future, supporting victims of domestic abuse and violence. And that is born out of passion due to my own experience in a violent relationship. I was in that relationship for about 9 years. I had 2 children while I was in there, and as violent as it was, it took me a while to actually make the decision to leave. And that is after so many reconciliations, and it got to a stage when I have to actually draw the line for the sake of the children and for my safety as well. So that prompted me to put my experience on paper, and I published Gifts, Roses and Bruises about 2 years ago. While researching into my book, I realized that there's not much out there, especially for Black ethnic minority, in terms of resources that will actually identify with the core problems that we have in violent relationships, which is culture and religion.
Now, this seems to be a very, very interesting subject because in my spare time I mentor quite a number of people, and I know for a fact that domestic abuse is very, very, very common in the society we live in, but also common in very many societies. But one thing which I'm sure you'll agree with is that it's not often spoken about. Why is this?
First of all, there's a stigma attached to being abused. Secondly, domestic abuse is about power and control. So when this person is abusing you, your self-esteem is being chipped at. You don't want people to know you are going through that. So initially you spend all your energy into making it right, into closing your eyes to the fact that you are being abused, either emotionally, physically, financially, or otherwise. And especially because abuse can be packaged as love. If somebody controls where you go, what you eat, what you wear, you might think, oh, he cares or she cares from, because men are victims too. It's just that 1 in 4 women will experience abuse in their lifetime, so the percentage is quite high. So it takes a while to actually come to sense and think, wait a minute, this is not right, what do I do? And even when you realize you're in an abusive relationship, then the next step is talking about it. People are often reluctant to talk about it because we've been brought up to grin and bear it. They think it's part of being in a marriage or in a relationship, which is why education and awareness is important, and most importantly, to then help people to stand on their feet. Because another thing is, think about finance. Even if you want to live, you find yourself alone, maybe there are children involved. How do you start? Where do you start? So again, it's about building self-esteem, it's about being self-sufficient, and about self-love. If all of this is in place, then people will be more confident to seek help and to speak up about being abused.
Now, you've also just raised something I will bring up, because you've said that men are victims too. And that's something you don't always get to hear about. Do you think it's rather shameful if a man comes up in the open to talk about his experiences?
Right, this is where we're going. It's not shameful at all. In fact, it helps. Because if a man is being abused and they seek help, then another man will relate with what they are saying and think of what they are doing to the woman. So for me, it's all about inclusion. And another thing is, again, I go back to culture. Culturally, the man is supposed to be the alpha male. So how could you stand up amongst your mates and say, this is what I'm going through? Whereas it's important to get help, because while you are being abused, the children are learning from what they are saying, either male or female. So it's not only just you that is being affected, it's the whole family as well. And the good thing is, in my line of work, I have organizations that looks after men as well, that, we work together, or maybe they follow my work and I follow their work. So I know there is help out there for men who have been abused as well.
What initiatives does Glowing Future have in 2014 to inform the wider world about domestic abuse situations out there?
We've got seminars, we've got workshops, we've got education and awareness programs, and like I said earlier, we are starting the Glowing Future radio show, where people can phone in anonymously and seek help. It doesn't have to be victims and survivors. It can be family and friends. Because usually when you have somebody close to you in a situation like that, you're at your wit's end. You don't know what to say, how to say, or when to say it. You don't want to say something and you look like you are breaking up a home. So you can phone into the radio show, ask for help, and it's not only going to be on abuse alone, it's going to be on lifestyle, it's going to be on relationships, it's going to be on living the life you love, and then carrying that to the wider world. And the family is the beginning of the society and the world. So when we have a firm sounding, nurtured family, that spills over into the community and into the society at large. And another thing, is the telephone that I spoke about, like helpline for victims in Africa, so that they can get help. Because in my work, when I'm on Twitter, I see when you are in almost all the different countries of the world and you are experiencing abuse, this is the number to call. You hardly see any in Africa. And when I tweet them and say, what are you doing in Africa? They don't respond to me. So I said, oh, well, if not me, who? So I'll take that on. And so that's one of the things, major things that we are hoping to do.
Now, if anyone wants to know more about Glowing Futures and all your future social media campaigns, are there any social media platforms out there that people can reach you on?
Yes, we're on Facebook. You can use my initial Facebook, Mary Ajoke Akangbe. Glowing Future is on Facebook as well. We're on Twitter, Glowing Future, and www.glowingfuture.org.uk. It's a charitable organization. Support us financially or in any other way, like, this telephone thing. Technically, all help will be, welcome and appreciated to bring the story out there and help our people.
Keep me posted of all the great work you're doing in the community. I'm so proud of the work you're doing, and we'll also do our best to promote your campaign. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, and thanks for putting this together. We actually need this to work together, because I believe that together we achieve more. Thank you very much.
The exchange of information and knowledge through film and media. Zimlink, baby.